Welcome back to Candy's Classic Game Shrine, everyone. Today on Tinker Time DIY, I'm going to show you all how to install the handheld Legend Pokemon Mini Backlight Kit. What you're going to need for this project is a tri-wing screwdriver, an X-Acto knife, the handheld Legend Backlight Kit for the Pokemon Mini, some solder, a soldering iron, and obviously a Pokemon Mini. To begin, let's start out by removing the screws on the back. There should be 4 tri-wing screws, so I recommend using a 0 size tri-wing screwdriver. Let's see, does this bit actually have it on here? Let's see if you can see. There you go, that's the size. Next, you're going to have to remove the screw here and remove the battery. I also recommend taking out the game at this time. I keep mine loosely tightened, so usually a fingernail is enough to open it. However, for some people, you might need a coin. Let's move these somewhere safe. Now it's time to open up the Pokemon Mini. Be careful when you open it up because of the wires for the speaker here. Next, we're going to be removing the screws on the inside. There should be 4. The 2 silver ones here and the 2 black ones here. These are Phillips screwdrivers, or it will require a Phillips screwdriver. All right, and that should help you remove the board. Might take a little bit of, oh, nope, I missed a screw. How dare I? Forgive me, there are 3 black screws and 2 silver screws. Now it should come out. Okay, for getting the access to this ribbon cable, I recommend taking out the IR sensor, or at least not the sensor, but the plastic piece. And then you'll be able to lift up the gates here on either side. And your ribbon cable with your screen should gently come out. This can be set aside. We don't need this for now. So we'll stick that like that. Now we want to remove these foam pieces here. These aren't going to be needed. Next up, we have to remove the screen. So gently just wiggle the shell back and forth, and the screen should pop out. Just don't go too crazy, or else you'll break the screen. There we go. And that is our screen. I recommend putting this on a paper towel or a soft surface while you work with this because you don't want the screen to get dirty or messed up. Okay, here comes the tricky part of this installation, and honestly, this is the most nerve-wracking part for myself. You're going to want to take your screen and flip it over, and you see this reflective layer right here before I drop this. This reflective layer here and the one below it, which is the polarizer, these are going to need to be removed. So this is when you're going to take your X-Acto knife and just gently start at the corner and pry away. Just take your time with this step. And there's the polarizer film. And this is what you should be left over with. However, there's a ton of residue from the sticky adhesive that was on the backlight, or not the backlight, on the reflector and the polarizer film. So I recommend taking a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip or on a paper towel and wiping it clean before you continue. Now that you have your clean screen, free of residue, I recommend you do the same for this shell because it's pretty much time to start reassembling. Before we reassemble though, I recommend taking your X-Acto knife and cutting out a few notches over here and here so you can route the wires that are a part of the backlight kit here. They don't need to be huge. As you can see, the wires are really thin, so you shouldn't need too much. Once that's done, you're gonna take your screen, place that in. Next, you're gonna take your polarizer film here, and you're gonna take the protective layer off of it. If I can figure out how to peel it off. There we go. Pardon my dog. And this goes in here. Next up, we take our backlight kit. That goes here. And then we carefully route our wires like we did before through here. You can also start to put your buttons back as well. Now it's time to go ahead and reattach our ribbon cable. Okay, and with that in place, we can now put the board here. Make sure these wires are able to come through. Once you've finally routed everything, I recommend putting at least one of the screws on the motherboard back in. That way you have some sort of way of keeping the board in place while you solder these two wires to where they need to go. Time to fire up the soldering iron. Alright, so when your soldering iron has been heated up, you are then going to take your black wire here and you are going to be attaching it to the capacitor right here. Let me see if I can get it on the camera for you. Basically, this wire touches right there. Right there. That little silver pad that you see me touching. And then this red wire here is going to go to pin 1 over here on the cartridge slot. Okay, so you can see that is where the black wire is connected. Now time to attach this one. So now that you have everything wired up, it's time to replace your batteries, close it up, and hopefully enjoy. And now, finally, completed. What a difference. What a flippin' difference. Here's a closer look. So that's how you install a Pokemon Mini Backlight kit. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Till next time, guys, take care. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters, Barclay Crazy, Chipper Angeles Negrete, Joyful Sworn, Michael Carter, and the SideQuest Gamer. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter of mine, the link is in the description below.